Man, I'm so tired of these fucking punks, man. These fucking whack-ass foes. So look, this is Shit of the Earth. That's the name of my new show, my new radio show, my new segment. I call it Shit of the Earth. It's just about shitty people, man. And it's a no-holds-barred show about people who you and I both know. And it's just how they are. So in this particular episode, I'm thinking back to early after the turn of the century, 21st century, so the millennium. And at the beginning of the new millennium, there's this dude who, you know, back in the day, I thought he was cool, you know what I mean? And I grew up with dude, and I knew his brother and everything. And, you know, I always had a reservation about referring to people as friends because I've always had a high IQ. I was someone that was diagnosed with a high IQ when I was 4 years old at the University of Washington. I got to emphasize that because a lot of haters talk shit, you know? A lot of stool pigeons, a lot of people just run around and, you know, they just say shit and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I got to remind them that I'm not some kind of fool and that when they run shit out the sides of the net, you know, that they need to get their facts straight. So, as it was, back on the West Coast, you know, there's this dude, and I'm looking out over the horizon of space-time, and I'm like, you know, I know this dude, grew up with him, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of, on some level, have a little bit of trust because I've seen him do some dirt, and he's been around me, and I've never betrayed dude. And as far as I know, up to that point, he had never betrayed me, you know? So I'm looking at dude, and I'm rolling with him and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And we were partnered up, you know, for about a year. And there's a third person involved. And so I won't mention any names, but we're rolling in the black Cadillac with the tinted windows. Alright? So at any rate, this dude, now see, this is the kind of person that I am. I know people who have had drug addictions, you know, growing up, man, just people who I would consider to be friends. I'd be like, yeah, that's the homie, man, that's the friend, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, he got his drug thing that he does, you know, I mean, and I feel bad for dude, because, you know, we all have troubles in our lives, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing as someone, you know what I'm saying, I mean, look, man, I know people that have tried cocaine, you know what I'm saying, and for whatever reason, they got a waiver to get into the military. You know, the military's like, hey man, have you ever done cocaine? And they're like, yeah man, I've done coke a couple times at parties or whatever. They became soldiers, they changed their lives, or they go on to be sports stars, and they just give that shit up, man. They get families and they get over it. You know what I'm saying? Get jobs and they go on to lead and live normal lives. But it's the people, man, the hypocrites that I go after. It's the hypocrites, man, the cynics and the hypocrites, the ones who do these drugs and then turn around and try to make it seem as if you're the problem, as if I'm the problem, as if I've been doing the shit that they've been doing, knowing damn well that I've never done the shit that they've done. That's when I take issue with people in the drug. I mean, look, man, people experiment. Humans are humans. They're going to fuck with some chemicals. They're going to take some shit. Oh, what's this, an ecstasy pill? Oh, what's this, some LSD? Oh, what's this, some cocaine? People are going to do shit. I don't care, man. People do whatever they do. There's a lot of successful people. You see the movie Pirates of Silicon Valley. Steve Ballmer, he dropped some acid in the movie. Whether it's true or not in the movie, he did it. He probably did it in real life. And if he didn't, then someone's hating on him. But I'll tell you this, man. If he did, so what? Fuck it. He experimented with LSD. He's the owner of Apple, or he was CEO. You know what I mean? And so, good for him, man. He's a fucking multi-billionaire. I don't care if people experiment with drugs. It's not good. You know, we shouldn't do that. But some people do. And it depends on the drug. Sometimes it's good because it's for, you know, science and shit like that. I take issue, clearly, I'm telling you. Now someone's going to hate and they're going to write some dumbass shit on this fucking comment page, you know? On the comments, they're going to be like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. I clearly indicated that I only take issue with hypocrites. People who have done drugs and then turn around and point the finger at me and tell me that I've done some shit that I've never done. That's what I take issue with. So, if you write some shit on the YouTube comments page to the contrary of what I said, and you say that I've said some shit that I haven't said, and you haven't fully watched this video or listened to this video, fuck you, man. Fuck off and die. Stupid little punk ass bitch. Fuck you. You need to check your facts. Okay? So going back to this dude who I grew up with and shit. I'm rolling with this dude, and he gets, you know what I'm saying? He tells me one day, he's like, hey, Rob, you want to make some money? And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, hey, look, man, I know this dude from Bellevue, Washington, right? He fucking, you know, he owns his auto detailing shop. And when he told me, it already sounded sketchy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, man, you know, it'd just be like a couple times a week, maybe a few times, you know what I'm saying? Easy money, man. You know what I'm saying? He never buys anything less than $100 worth of coke each time, you know? He's looking for some powder, some rock, whatever. I'm like, nah, man, He's like, come on, Rob, man, you know, you want to make some money? You know, he tells me he's out of the game. Okay, the dude who's telling me this, who I grew up with, is telling me that he himself is out of the game. And that, but he knows this other dude, he knows this third person who wants this dope. And he wants me to be the person to serve this third person. This dude that owns his auto detailing shop supposedly out in Bellevue or some shit like that. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. And he's like, come on, man, it's easy money. I told you I'm out of the game. You know I used to have clientele and shit. You want to sell some rocks, some fucking coke to this dude? I'm like, nah, man. He's like, it's just a few times. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. He's like, man, I'm saying a few times a week, you make a few $100s just to go and meet this dude for a couple of minutes, a few minutes, and you spend not more than 10 minutes of your time out of the week, and you make several $100s. You make $1,000 a month, Rob, spending a half an hour meeting this dude, serving him some coke and some shit. I'm like, nah, man. Don't sound right, homie. Something sounds fishy about this. So anyway, I sees dude, you know what I'm saying? My so-called homie, I see this motherfucker, right? And I know now because when I try to friend him on Facebook so many years later, you know what I'm saying? Because it's been almost 10 years. It's been 8 years. This is back in 2002, just in case you want to know. I try to friend dude on Facebook, and I noticed he didn't want to friend me. That's how I know dude tried to set me up. You know what I'm saying? Now look what he does. I find out that he, okay, my so-called homie, is supposed to be going to prison and shit. I didn't know this. And I'm like, wait a second. You mean when he wanted me to serve this dude, this coke, this powder, this rock, he, my so-called homie, you know what I'm saying, who I've been knowing since we were like 9 years old, out in front of Virginia Market on 23rd Street. We call it VGM, Virginia Market, VGM. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not a proper acronym. We just call it VGM and shit. It's like you see in California, you know what I'm saying? Like you see in LA, but it's in Everett, Washington on 23rd. In fucking Virginia on the corner. They used to have bars on the window and shit. Because niggas would break up in there at nighttime and steal cigarettes and beer. Like 50,000 different times. Plus the phone booth got blown up several times with dynamite. And I don't know anything about that. But check this out. So anyway, I met this dude when I was 9 years old out in front of VGM, Virginia Market. He wants me to sell coke when we're in our 20s to this dude. And I don't even know that my so-called homie is supposed to be reporting to prison in a few months. So he sees me a few months after he propositioned me. And he's like, hey, man, did you ever meet with dude? And I was like, no, man, I never met with dude. He's like, what? What? Oh, man. Oh, what? Are you for real? And I'm like, I didn't meet with dude. Why, man? I told you. What you talking about, man? This motherfucker who's supposed to be my friend, he smashes out. He leaves. He cuts out real quick. Like something's really urgent. Something's going on. It's some kind of emergency. I sees him get on the telephone call, and he starts talking all frantic. Next thing you know, man, couple months down the road, I hear that he turned himself into prison. Huh? What? Yeah. What I deduce, what I've been able to ascertain, is this motherfucker was told by the authorities, by the police, by the task force, Snohomish County fucking police, hey man, if you set up Rob and have him buy some fucking, sell some dope to this dude, you won't have to do as much prison time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know dude tried to set me up. You know what I'm saying? But I see him on Facebook and I see him talking to all these people. You know what I'm saying? And they have no idea. Shit of the earth, man. This motherfucker, all this shit I did for him, and this dude's gonna go and try to set me up with the motherfucking police on the West Coast. Try to have me do some fucking time so he can get off of a beef that he fucking got himself into. And this dude is supposed to be my homie, man. That's how it is on the West Coast when you try to be loyal to your, you know what I'm saying, neighborhood, your family, and keep your mouth shut. Some of you so-called homies will turn around and try to set you up.